Hello, thank you so much for joining me today in this grounding yoga flow to welcome spring and the solar eclipse. During this practice, we're focusing on balancing the energies of dark and light, movement and stillness to cultivate a deeper sense of harmony in the body and mind. Prepare for this practice by settling into bound angle and remember to modify as you need. As we begin to come into the breath, we ground down through the sit bones, starting to realize that we are all connected to nature, to ourselves, using the breath to bring you back to this sense of connection whenever your mind wanders today. Nature is us. We are nature. And we are welcoming this new season of life, whatever it may bring for us. Releasing the darkness of winter, opening up our hearts for the joy of spring. Finding length in the spine as you reach up through the crown of the head. Finding a few more breaths, allowing the groins to slowly open. And on your next inhale, reach the right arm overhead. Exhale to draw it in front of the chest, and inhale, left arm sweeps. Moving with the breath, finding 3 rounds of these. 3 side stretches on each side. And on your next inhale, reaching up with the right arm again, this time finding a few second hold. Really extending through the fingertips, feeling the skin stretch along the side body. Exhale to release and sweep the left arm. Big full breaths, helping yourself to release. Exhale through center. Carefully find one big inhale and exhale, let go. Cross the feet at the ankles, come into child pose. Big toes together, hips down by the ankles. Reaching out with the fingertips for a breath, kind of settling in, finding the stillness in this pose after the movement. Balancing out both. Big breath in and out. Lifting the head, coming into a twist. Plant the left forearm down as you sweep the right overhead. Really reaching the fingertips up to the sky as you lift your gaze. And on your next exhale, press through the left hand to extend the arm. Inhale, and exhale, thread the needle. Your right arm comes underneath the left. Find what feels comfortable here. You may want to move your knees a little bit further apart, coming into a wide child pose. Allowing a soft opening of the front of the shoulder. A gentle surrendering of the lower back. Exhale to release, coming back through your child pose, planting the right forearm, and inhale, peel the left fingertips up. Still keeping the hips sent back towards the heels. A nice active stretch. Extending the right arm, big breath in, and exhale, thread the needle, walking the fingertips out. Breathing in feelings of expansion, of openness. A deep inhale in through the nose, filling the belly, the lungs with air. And exhale. Carefully let this breath unwind you. Press the hands back towards the knees, tuck the toes, and rock back up, coming into a squat. Take your time to open through the groins, through the hips. Find a little bit of movement to settle in, and once you have found your space, try to become as still as possible. Pressing the hands together, feeling this opposition of energies, the moon, the sun, left, right. Breathe through it all, through whatever comes up. Lean into the stillness. Remembering to breathe, nourish your body, mind, soul. Coming back to the roots, especially with these grounding postures today. Remember who you are in the times of change. And planting the hands, coming onto the knees and onto the balls of the feet. Toes are tucked underneath, so we're getting a nice stretch along the bottoms of the feet. Here for just a few breaths. Maybe lift the palms up in a gesture to receive. Find what you need to breathe and simply be. And to reverse the action of the front ankles, if they're getting a little tight or sore, we can untuck the toes, come onto the tops of the feet, and lift up the hips a little bit, getting a little quadricep stretch and counterbalancing from the ankles, really grounding them down into the earth. Play with some movement here. And when you're ready, stepping the right foot up in between the hands, coming into a low lunge. Take a breath to find your position before inhaling the arms right above the head. And exhale, cactus, drawing the elbows down by the sides as you spread the fingers wide. Sending the hips down and forward, staying here for a few breaths, allowing yourself to open in time. Releasing anything that no longer serves you. Finding beauty in the letting go, creating space for so much more. Exhale, sweep the arms by the sides as you come into half splits, extending the right leg, toes point back at the face. Coming onto the fingers or perhaps a block. Making sure to extend the spine and not round. Connect to the feeling of your breath here. Carefully come back onto the knees through tabletop position and begin some rounds of cat-cow. Exhale, press through the hands, rounding the back. Inhale, lift the head up, finding the light. And rounding, exhale, coming back through the darkness. These opposing energies, these opposing perspective shifts, but we need both of them. We cannot have dark without the light, and vice versa. They're all here to teach us different things. How can we work through these periods of darkness? By connecting back to our true selves. Finding your last round. Meeting back through a neutral spine and tabletop. Before stepping the left foot up, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Breathe in love and light. Exhale, cactus the arms. Perhaps finding a slight back bend here as we reach the heart center up and out. Noticing any emotions or feelings as you open and breathe. Last breath. And exhale, sweep the arms by the sides as you come into half splits. Controlling your movements. Taking this time for you. Refreshing the energy, moving the prana in your body, releasing anything that may have become stuck. Inhale and exhale, taking the left leg back to meet the right, coming up into a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet for a breath or two. Again, finding movement before settling in. Moving with the polarities of life, leaning into them. Because when we resist, we only create more stuck prana. Bending the knees, bringing them in towards the chest, grounding down through the bottoms of the feet, the palms of the hands, gazing at your hands, and carefully making your way up to the top of the mat, stepping the feet a little bit wider. Inhale, reach up to chair. Exhale, sink the hips low, slightly tucking in the pelvis, the tailbone. Big breath in, ground down through the left foot and cross the right ankle over, raveling into eagle, taking your time, finding your focus point, using your concentration as we lift up and ravel, wringing everything out that this past season has brought us that we no longer need to take with us into the new. Connect to your power, your confidence as you balance and become stronger. And carefully unraveling the legs, but keeping your eagle arms, extend the leg into a warrior three. Bringing your chest down parallel to the mat. This is a transition pose. Carefully step the back foot and lift up into a warrior one. Extending the arms, turn the back foot out. Inhale, take the wrist and bring it back, reverse warrior. One breath here. On your next exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, nice high lunge, and carefully step back up, folding over. Move the energy around for a few breaths here. Straighten and bend the legs. Move the arms up and down. Maybe visualize yourself pushing away what you no longer have need for. And on your next inhale, standing up to mountain, sweeping the arms by the sides, a nice big V. And exhale, palms to heart center. One breath to reset. And then coming into your chair pose and repeating the same sequence on the other side. Exhale, sink those hips low. Activate through the quads, through the glutes, the spine. One big breath. And when you're ready, carefully transition to eagle pose. Left leg wraps around right. Your arms mirror in their own time. If we can't meet palms, that's perfectly okay. Meet yourself where you're at today. Continuing to breathe and notice what you feel in your muscles. Finding gratitude for how hard your body is working for you to keep you rooted but yet upright. And keeping our eagle arms, slowly unravel the left leg and send it out behind you, squeezing through the glutes, through the abdomen. Find a nice big breath. And exhale, step that left foot back, unraveling the arms, warrior one. Grabbing a hold of the other wrist and finding a nice big stretch. Exhale, warrior two. Gazing over the right fingertips. Inhale, high lunge. And step up. Exhale, forward fold. Move some more of that energy around before we take our practice down to the ground. One last breath. And then raise up in your nice V of a mountain pose. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, heart center, bring it all in. Now, making our way down onto the mat, lifting the heels up onto the balls of the feet, extend the arms out to shoulder height and slowly bend the knees, taking your hips down to your heels. Making your way through a little balance. Holding here. Connect to the core. Finding any arm variations that may be fun for a breath or two. We can always add some playful exploration in our practice. Beautiful. Rain the fingertips down to the mat. Taking the left knee down to the ground, extending the right leg behind, half pigeon pose. Find what position feels comfortable for you. Lifting up through the crown of the head as you press away from the mat with the hands or the fingertips. Revisiting our theme of stillness. Settle in and breathe. And if you'd like to make this more of an active stretch, we can take the hands away from the mat, really connect to the glutes and the core, holding yourself in this position, finding strength in the lower body. Continuing to breathe wherever you are. Plant the fingertips. Lift up onto the knee, extending the right leg, coming into a side plank modification with the knee down. Reaching overhead. Perhaps taking a heart opener, a little slight back bend here. And then diving down, facing the long edge of the mat, opening through the hips. Before facing the back of the mat and coming into pigeon pose on the other side. Extending the left leg long, sweeping that right underneath you. Finding your sense of balance. Balance does not just mean standing balance postures. We're talking about balance between ease and effort, between mind and body, between thought and action. Keeping your pigeon passive or making it active for the last few breaths. Breathing into your hip space. Notice anything different going on? Grounding down close to the earth. Breathing nice and full. And coming into your side plank variation. Reaching for the sky and then overhead. Open up. And dipping down to the long edge of the mat, opening up once more through the inner groins, taking what you need. Before sitting down, sweeping kind of through a staff pose to give yourself a nice little hug, wrapping your arms around the knees or reaching for the feet. Knowing that there are dark parts in all of us and in all of life, and that you are strong enough to get through all of the darkness. There is always light on the other side. Sending love to all of your dark parts. They're also what make you who you are. And preparing to come on to the back, maybe taking a fun little rock and finding happy baby. Letting the legs open to the sides, letting gravity pull you down. Knees are by the ribs. Holding on to the big toe, the ankles, maybe a strap or a towel. Taking one big inhale. And on your exhale, release the right leg down to the mat as you cross the left over. Reaching for a big glute stretch here. So your toes might be on the mat. Maybe it's the ball of the foot or your entire foot. You can use your other hand to kind of pull your leg in. See what you need. And preparing to deepen this stretch by coming into a full twist. We keep this left leg over the right as you come to lean on the right leg, bending the knee and reaching for your right foot. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always keep your bottom leg extended or find whatever supine twist suits your practice. Allowing yourself the time and space to release. Allowing your breath to guide you there. Exhale to release the foot. Come back up into a nice happy baby. Let's give that lower back some love. Massage as you breathe into the spine. Finding nice, calming breaths. And lower your left leg down, crossing the right over for our supine half cow face. Moving gently and lovingly as we near the end of our practice together. Finding another breath, maybe two here. And when you're ready, come into your version of supine twist. Wringing out all of the excess energies in the spine. Moving around the fluid, making yourself healthier and stronger bit by bit. Finding one last big breath. And when you're ready, carefully releasing, hugging the knees into the chest, send yourself a moment of love, of compassion, and release into a Shavasana position that works for you. Corpse pose, reclined butterfly, maybe child. Breathing into the body, finding harmony with all of these opposing sides, ease and effort, darkness, lightness, the time to move and the time to be still. Coming into the breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Feeling secure in the knowledge that you are exactly where you should be on your journey. This is your path. Let it unfold. Let's see where it all goes. You have the tools to get through anything that comes your way. On a big inhale, let's see what spring can bring. And on a big exhale, let's release winter. As our practice together comes to an end, I thank you so very much for choosing me to guide you today, and I look forward to the next time I see you on the mat.